saan ka man dalhin ang kapalaran, iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan. Konting tiis na lang at hanggang sa araw na yan ay asal. Kami nandito lang, sabay na pakinggan ang mga kwento nyo. Isigaw natin sa mundo, bagong bayani namin kayo. Sipag at tapang nyo, hinialay sa mundo, sinasaludo namin kayo. Filipino, itaas ang noo, ipagmalaki mo ang galing nyo, isigaw sa mundo.
Magandang hapon UK, magandang hapon Europa, magandang gabi Pilipinas at kung saan man po kayo naroroon, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ihahatid namin sa inyo ang special program Juaneukonek Kontra Corona live dito po sa Facebook and YouTube. Samahan ninyo kami sa mga natatanging kwento ng mga Pinoy sa Europa na mag-iiwan ng impormasyon, ngiti, aral at pag-asa. Ako po si Rose Eclarinal.
Ito ang kwentong Pinoy, kwentong migrante, kwentong Juaneukonek Kontra Corona. I'm Crystal Dias.
For our Kontra Corona project for the next 3 months, the National Lottery Community Fund is graciously funding this project to serve the Filipino communities in the UK and beyond. And this afternoon, we have a special lineup. We will be joined by model, actor, yoga mentor, and martial artist Juaneukonek. Ngayong hapon, kasama po natin si Raymond Bagatsing. And we will have Immigration 101. Last week, we had Philcom Connect, which was very successful po para sa ating Tabang Bicol. Maraming salamat. And hopefully, we will have another one like that in the days to come para naman po sa ating mga kababayan na nasalanta ng Typhoon Ulysses sa Pilipinas, Metro Manila, lalong-lalo na po sa Cagayan Valley. So, Crystal, what do we have for Immigration 101?
Well, today I will explain how easy it is to come to UK and work as a nurse during the pandemic. And I will be introducing to you a new frontliner. His name is Jesse Valerio. He will be playing a vital role in the NHS sector.
Oh, wow. That's very exciting. So, dito naman po tayo para sa first segment muna, Very exciting dahil ngayong panahon, lockdown uli ang England for 4 weeks. And it would be interesting to know ano ba yung mga dapat nating gawin para we continue to be healthy, not just physically but also mentally. Ilang buwan tayong na lockdown, Crystal, in the UK. And we're still soldiering on. So marami tayong matututunan ngayong hapon sa ating guest. Our guest this afternoon started his career in showbiz as a model. He became an action star and then he had a break in showbiz and he came back even brighter. He is now more notable in his portrayal of Jaime Laurel in the hit series of ABS-CBN, Pusong Ligaw. And of course, he played Manuel Quezon in one of my favorite recent films, Quezon's Game, which I had an honor to cover for ABS-CBN News during its premiere in Israel and here in London. Ang nag-iisa pong si Raymond Bagatsing. So, we have here our special guest, Mr. Raymond Bagatsing. Raymond, the last time I saw you, you were in London for the premiere of Quezon's Game. And after that, the lockdown happened. So how are you doing now?
Well, I'm good. I was just in lockdown like everybody else here from March up for a couple of months. There was really no work. I started shooting a documentary about Maharlika. It's still ongoing. It's going to take a while before we finish that, but I wanted to be productive, so I began this documentary. And now we're busy with another show for ABS-CBN Online. It's called La Vida Lena, and it's a drama series. I'm with Erich Gonzalez, Agot Isidro, Janice de Belen, Carlo Aquino, Keith Thompson, Jason De Vera, Ben Medina, and many more. It's really a power cast.
Wow, congratulations. But you see, I was referring to your screening here in London for Quezon's game, and I understand despite the pandemic, there was also screening of Quezon's game in UAE, which is very good, no? Now you're telling me about filming. So, maswerte ka because you're one of the actors na merong opportunity to work. But how has the pandemic changed the course of filming? For example, the project that you're doing now with ABS-CBN, the Filipino channel.
Well, our whole work structure has changed. It used to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We rest Tuesday, Thursdays, and weekends. Usually work can be from 20 hours to 24 hours, used to be. And now we're working 4 days a week, 1 day off for 3 weeks. So we have a 3 weeks lock-in. For our teleserie, our drama series, we are locked in our location in Antipolo, and we have to be there for 3 weeks straight. And we have 4 days work, as I mentioned, and 1 day off. And on the third week, we will take we have to take a swab test like a week before we go to the set to make sure everyone's safe. And as soon as the work is finished on the third week, we take another exit swab test.
Oh, I see. So yung lock-in na yan, you can't leave the vicinity, of course, no?
Yes, for security purposes, so that we do not catch anything from the outside. So it's quite challenging because you have to be away from your home, your family, you know. But though it keeps everyone safe, and also we only shoot 12 hours at a time. This time. So it's 4 days a week, 1 day rest, 12 hours, and at 12 hours we have to pack up. And that's, I believe it's because we have to make sure that we get enough sleep, that our immune system is high while we're working. Because before we usually would go on a 24-hour grind.
Shoot, a grind.
Yes, and but that will usually bring down your immune system. And it's not very healthy for the pandemic.
How did you overcome the challenges of the lockdown? So I guess that's it.
Yes, I just try to keep myself busy. You know, I'm pretty much I'm a homebody by nature. You know, I work out a lot, and I do a lot of my studies at home. And I guess being a celebrity, you don't really have the luxury of being able to be out in public because you are known. And so you do, I had a lot of practice of being alone, so it wasn't such a tough time being in a lockdown. So I just do my usual routine, workout routine, yogas, meditation, and whatever work comes in. Right now we're also busy with the Maharlika 17th Sunrise Festival. As you saw earlier, I had a green screen background. It's because we were shooting for the hosting of our Maharlika 17th online Sunrise Festival.
When is that going to happen? We have to watch it.
I will send you the link. It's on November 26, 27, 28. It's all those artists and people who support the original name of the Philippines, Maharlika. And so a lot of musicians, writers, and just basically those who support Maharlika.
So Raymond, I understand if you're not acting, you're also teaching yoga and mixed martial arts. Is that correct?
Yes, more so before when the pandemic wasn't, when it hasn't happened yet. I was teaching a few people, private martial arts, classes, and then I also have my yoga practice is really just with me. I just use it for my own maintenance, but I do teach whoever is some friends who are willing to learn and who ask me for advice.
So it's not something like you don't have a class. It's like a one-to-one yoga.
Yes, I do not really have the time to teach a whole class. Usually, it's more for my personal understanding of yoga, and I never got around to really teaching a class, just because I'm first and foremost an actor, and but lately I've been talking more about wellness and yoga. I've been teaching people about wellness discipline in order to improve what they're going through and the challenges that they're going through because of the pandemic.
Yes, which is actually very good, which brings me to the aspect of wellness. That's why we're talking to you, because alam mo naman, Raymond, na maraming mga Pinoy frontliners ang namatay dito sa UK because of the pandemic. And we are now into the second lockdown starting November 5. So itong pagkakakulong sa loob ng bahay has an effect into the mental well-being of a person. Now tell us, how would you advise those people na nandito sa lockdown, itong strict lockdown dito sa England ngayon, para magkaroon ng continuous healthy mental state?
Since we do not really have the time for me to elaborate, it's really basically just focusing on our diet. First and foremost, more vegetables, more dark green leafy vegetables, raw. If you can take them raw, if you can eat them as a salad, you can take them as if you have a juicer. Just take plenty of raw vegetables and fruits, and then fit in with exercise. And there are lots of amazing yoga teachers on YouTube who can guide you on beginners and intermediate, even advanced. And I do really, I do recommend yoga because it is not just the physical exertion, but yoga is a balancer of our hormones. It brings up your immune system. It boosts up your positivity. It pretty much hit many birds with one stone. It's mental, physical, and emotional. So it pretty much balances you out. So if you can just focus on yoga, that'll be wonderful.
Okay, so you know what? I see a lot of your posts on Facebook and Instagram. More on Facebook. Your exercise routine, napaka-disciplined mo, Raymond, in terms of your exercise regimen. So tell us, what is a day in a life of Raymond Bagatsing now during the lockdown? Kasi yung exercise mo parang ang hirap, well, syempre hindi ako lalaki, but I see that even for a guy, parang ang hirap niyang i-follow. So tell us, ano ba what do you do?
I do not advise people to really follow what I do. It's pretty intense, but they
Yes.
can, as long as they can, they can find some workout videos to follow on YouTube. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. There's body weight. There's dumbbells. There's a lot of home workouts now because of the pandemic, and they show you how to work out in your house without no equipment whatsoever. With just body weight, but it will keep your immune system up. And aside from that, there's a lot of amazing yoga postures, and you don't have to do the difficult ones. Just the very basic ones. I only do 4 or 5 yoga postures daily. So to give you an idea, when I wake up, I take a shower. Okay, and then after that, I sit down. I do some chanting in my guitar, spiritual chanting that prepares me for my meditation. Then I do breathing techniques, which is called Wim Hof breathing technique method, which boosts up your red blood cells. It oxygenates your cells, which it's a healing kind of breathing, and it boosts your immune system dramatically. So if you can do this a couple of times a day, and I advise this for everyone, especially those who are more mature and older, our senior citizens, because this will definitely boost their immune system and strengthen their respiratory.
Raymond, you're a disciplined actor. I saw that you were also disciplined in terms of your exercise and in your diet. How much of your yoga practice and mixed martial arts contributed to you being such a good and disciplined actor?
Actually, I started my martial arts former training with Bruce Lee's comrade, his fellow student under Yip Man of Wing Chun Kung Fu. So I started this in Melbourne, Australia, when I was there.
Mhm.
That did help very much my interest in martial arts and working out. But when I got initiated into tantric meditation, the world of tantra around year 2000, that pushed me into becoming a vegetarian, and I took a vow pretty much to meditate twice a day regularly since 2000. So since year 2000 until now, I've been meditating for 20 years. I meditate in the morning and in the evening, and I meditate a minimum of an hour to 3 hours a day, sometimes 4 hours.
Oh,
So
wow.
sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, 4 times a day. And I do my yoga maintenance poses in the morning 4 or 5 times. And at the same time in the evening, I do it after I meditate. And this pretty much balances out all the stress that happens during the day. The mind is constantly thinking, it's constantly moving, it's constantly worrying. So in the morning, I make sure that I am stable and secured with my spiritual practices, especially meditation and yoga. And then I fit in my exercise during the day and whatever I need to do or whatever work I have for myself on that day. And I finish it off again with the same thing. I do my chanting, I do my meditation, then I do my yoga practices, I do my stretches, and then I go into a more relaxed mode for the evening.
You know what? It seems so perfect, what you're saying during the lockdown. Pero realistically, Raymond, when people are busy and they have like a 9 to 5 job, is that really doable?
You know, a very wise man, a very wise guru, yoga master said, the more busy you are, the more you'll be able to fit it in, because you're good at being busy and you're good at time management. And really with my practice, all you need is really about 10 minutes of meditation, 15, 20 minutes of yoga. And you can do this within, you just have to wake up a little bit earlier. And losing sleep over that, when you do your yoga and meditation, you actually do not need as much sleep.
So, Raymond, yung practice mo ng yoga and mixed martial arts, nakatulong ba yan sa'yo bilang aktor, as an actor?
Oh, very much so. Yes, of course. Yoga, really, what I learned from there is you don't have to do it an hour every day. You just have to do the poses that really heals your body and your mind and balances your hormones, which is sometimes three poses, 3 main poses that you need to do every day is enough to bring your immune system up and take all the stress that you're going through. And you just have to do it in the morning and in the evening, and then fit in a few minutes of meditation, 5 to 10 minutes. You can even work out for 10 minutes. The most important thing is you get to fit these things in. And the more busy you are, the more you have to fit it in. I just did a wellness talk for PSPA, which is the Philippine Society for Public Administration, PSPA, and what they go through is that they're isolated on a desk in front of their computer all day, and no social life, and so they lack movement. So I gave them a few techniques on how to do some improv office, yoga for the office, some
Yes.
stretches. And then I actually guided them through the Wim Hof method, because we did have time to do this, and they all participated. And we did 3 rounds of that. And usually that will take probably about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And then because this will induce a certain calm and meditative state, and I brought them straight to a guided meditation. So, and they woke up from the meditation, guided meditation. They were very happy and they were smiling. Like, I mean, not to boost my segment, but most of the comments said that they really, the most special thing about the PSPA conference was the wellness talk and wellness interactive guidance that I gave them. So everyone is really, really looking into fitting in some sort of wellness practice into their daily lives these days.
So Raymond, you talked about good diet. What is your diet like?
I'm pretty much a vegetarian. I do fasting every day, half day fast. I don't eat for a couple of hours after I wake up. I just drink plenty of lemon water with some salt, and I take tea or black coffee. But I make sure I take a lot of water, and that's somewhat when we stretch our fasting from sleep and we don't eat, we don't take breakfast, so you don't have a break fast. So you keep fasting. So your body, what it does, it keeps cleaning up. So once you're awake in the morning, you don't eat straight away. Your body keeps on cleaning up whatever it needs to take out and purge. So that pretty much boosts my immune system as well. And I break my fast with pineapple, cold pressed pineapple, and then I have mga dark green leafy vegetables that I cold press, like kale. If pag walang kale, I use mga kamote tops. In the Philippines we have lots of great dark green leafy vegetables, and I put malunggay in there, and I put some neem leaves, and so every day I take 2 jars of raw greens and,
wow.
And pineapple juices and a couple of fruits a day, and I take plenty of protein because I work out a lot. And then I do.
Wow.
I'm my lifestyle is pretty intense. I've been fasting for 20 years. I do a 32 to 36 hours fast 4 times a month. And
wow.
Only water in the morning, and then no more water until the next day. So that's what you call a dry fast. So it purges, it cleans up your system, and it balances you mentally, physically, and emotionally. So this is the tantric ways of the East that I've learned through my Indian monk
heritage.
Yes.
So Raymond, you are an award-winning actor. You do a lot of things in between. Now you're doing a documentary. Yung mga gustong, who wants to follow in your footsteps, who wants to be like Raymond Bagatsing, what advice would you give them?
Really, just like with anything else that anyone is passionate about, it could be journalism, it could be anything. You just have to study, learn as much as you can about it, and learn how you can integrate that with your own persona. Because it's not just about learning what's on the outside. It's mostly how do you learn about yourself by learning these things. And how do you become these? And so you have to enrich yourself with not just exterior knowledge, but interior knowledge, which is pretty much, reading, researching, meditation, spiritual practices. And then just be passionate and just try to get yourself out there. Nowadays we have social medias and it's so easy to promote oneself. So understand the business, show business, and there's really no one way on how to go about it. There's no formula. And you'll find out along the way, because it's really a personal journey. For me, we're coming from the East. You must merge well with the West. And so the perfect balance, like the yin and yang, is East and West. So if you are there, you must also merge yourself with the intelligence of the West. If you study the intelligence of the West and their psychology and their understanding and working out, and you can integrate that with your Filipino heart and your Filipino values, I think you will be a very, very, it will enrich you, enrich your life. Even in how to take care of yourself mentally, the West is very good with working out, with coming up with diets and following diets and exercises, and even yoga is big in the UK as well. So we just have to integrate well.
Integrate, but not forgetting your roots as well. That's what you're saying.
Yes, it's a merging of East and West. We never become just one. We become whole. But we have to understand that the East and West should not be separated.
Oh, that's a good one. And what about naman your parting words sa ating mga nanunood na frontliners at yung mga Pilipino na nandito sa United Kingdom? Nasa lockdown kami ngayon. It will finish in December 2. Maybe tips on how to navigate these unprecedented times.
Really, I'm very proud of you all, and I'm very thankful for your hero hearts. You're really service oriented. I'm very proud of all the Filipinos, not just in the UK but all over the world, because we just have that great heart, and we sacrifice ourselves and just find time to research how to keep your immune system up. I really, really highly recommend getting into some breathing techniques, which will, if you can do it anywhere, you can do it. You don't need a class for it. You can go on YouTube. It will greatly enhance your immune system. And there's amazing workout exercises and of anything that you need, even meditation on YouTube. So take time. It's not just about being of service on the outside, but you have to serve yourself in the process first and foremost. So I'm very, very, very proud of you, and thank you all for your heroism and your sacrifice.
Oh, thank you for this opportunity. You know what I learned today? Meditate, diet, exercise, and yoga. So I have to go back to that. So parang, especially during the lockdown, I'm forgetting about meditation, yoga. I have not done it for a long time. But the exercises, of course, you have to do that. And the diet, oh my goodness. It's challenging, but we can do it. Thank you so much, Raymond, for this opportunity. We really appreciate it, and hopefully we get to see you again in London after the lockdown.
Yes, I know, Rose. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me tonight or today, and I do hope to see you again when this is all over.
Maraming salamat po, ladies and gentlemen, Raymond Bagatsing. So, we are now on the second part of our program, Immigration 101, with Solicitor Crystal Diaz. Hi, Crystal. How was that for you?
Hi, good afternoon, Miss Rose. I'm okay, looking very well. And it's good to see Raymond Bagatsing again, because we saw him when he was in London. And I'm kind of hot and bothered now. After watching
Yes, ang maganda sa trabahong ito, you see, you meet a lot of people. But one thing I can say, I really like Raymond. I don't like everybody that I interview in showbiz. Kasi, syempre, you don't really get to know them naman. Maiksing oras lang yung pag-interview mo o yung kasama mo siya. But this guy, I learned a lot from him, especially dun sa kanyang discipline. Kasi yung diet, for example, yung yoga, yung meditation, that's one thing that I need to go back to. Remember our friend Marites Allen? Marami
Yes.
din siyang tips on starting your day. I think it's very important, especially during the lockdown. And dun sa segment na kasama natin si Raymond, one thing that I like in what he said, sinabi niya about our frontliners, hindi lang yung puro trabaho, you also have to look after yourself. Kasi paano ka makakapagtrabaho kung hindi mo naman naalagaan yung sarili mo? So you have to, we have to encourage our frontliners also, magpahinga din po kayo. And then, focus on your own wellness. Having said that, Immigration 101, another exciting topic this afternoon. So there you go, Crystal. Totoo ba na mas madali na makapasok ang foreign nurses in the UK now? Kasi I had a report in September that the government or the NHS has booked 6,500 nurses for recruitment, foreign recruitment ito, and then the government is actually spending 28 million pounds for foreign recruitment of nurses because we need a lot of nurses. Ngayon, ang tanong ng mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas, paano sila makakapagtrabaho in the UK as a nurse?
Well, thank you for that information. It's really important to know where we're at sa NHS sector natin. So the Home Office has recognized the need for frontline workers due to the increasing number of people affected by the coronavirus. The National Health Service has been stretched to its limit, trying to cope with the demands for care of COVID-19 patients. In July, the Home Secretary Priti Patel and Secretary of State for Health and Social Care Matt Hancock announced the new Tier 2 fast-track visa route for all eligible health and care professionals, making the process quicker, cheaper, and easier for healthcare professionals to relocate to the UK. The visa is called Health and Care. This was launched on 4th of August 2020. But before I move on, I'd just like to say something about what the Home Secretary Priti Patel has said. We are indebted to overseas health and care professionals for their tremendous contributions, not just in saving thousands of lives throughout this crisis, but for the vital role they play year-round. This new visa is part of our new immigration system, making it quicker, cheaper, and easier for the best and brightest health and care professionals from around the globe to work in our brilliant NHS. Health and care professionals from all over the world have played a vital role in hospitals and care homes across the country fighting coronavirus. The introduction of the health and care visa follows a number of unprecedented measures to show the UK's gratitude to health workers from overseas. Secretary of State for Health and Social Care Matt Hancock said, "Our health and care system has always had a proud tradition of welcoming overseas staff to work, train, and live in the UK. And I'm proud that the NHS is a destination of choice for talented people from around the world. The unwavering commitment, skill, and compassion staff have shown during the fight against this deadly virus is nothing short of phenomenal, and the reimbursement of the Immigration Health Surcharge recognizes the enormous contribution of those who have come to the UK to work in health and social care." So having mentioned that, so what's new exactly? A reduced visa application fee, which I will talk in details later. A decision will be made within as little as 3 weeks, And as I've mentioned, the immigration health surcharge, which is a contribution to the NHS, basically there is a permanent exemption. Again, I will talk about the figures later. But first, I would like to introduce you to someone who's just arrived to the UK. He's now our new frontliner. And please welcome everyone, Jesse Blair Valerio. Hello, Jesse. Are you there?
Hello, Miss Crystal. Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining JUANEUKONEK this lovely Sunday and sparing your Sunday afternoon with us. And you just arrived, right? I mean, tell
Yeah,
us about your journey to the UK naman.
actually, I arrived in UK last 15th October, so it is my 1 month today in United Kingdom. Then I started my application last February during my interview with the employer, and then unfortunately, or sorry, after we passed the interview, we got that tentative date of deployment. However, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we got the government put a lockdown, and unfortunately we were not able to process all our documents. Then after that, also the government don't allow us nurses to work abroad, because I know the plight of our government also, that they really wanted us nurses to work back in the Philippines. So for that reason, it cost us, I think, 6 months delayed for our deployment. However, because of the help of also of Ma'am Pearl, which is the director of Skilled Health International, now we are here in UK.
That's amazing. I mean, obviously, as you said, it should have been shorter time to get to UK, but because of the
Yeah.
pandemic, there were delays. But
Yes.
let us start really from the time when you were in the Philippines. When did you qualify as a nurse?
I got my professional license as a nurse way back 2007. And then after that, I worked in the different fields of nursing. I worked as a clinical instructor, and then also I worked in the Middle East for almost 6 years, I think. Then I went back to the Philippines last 2016. Then I got into a new different field, a totally different field. I applied into the Department of Education as a teacher, and also I got my professional license as a teacher way back in the Philippines last 2016. And then I worked as an educator in grade 11 and grade 12, particularly a research teacher. So I engaged in some research for 4 years before I came here to United Kingdom.
So you're a nurse and a teacher.
Yes, Miss
So
Crystal.
two key workers, right? It's like it's kind of amazing what you have achieved.
Thank you.
And now you've decided to come to the UK
Yeah.
and become a nurse, to work as a nurse for the NHS. Now, why did you move to the UK, and why did you leave, Saudi? Because you were there for 6 years, as you said, and then decided, okay, was it not for you, and then come to
Yeah.
UK instead?
Yeah, you are correct. The first reason why I decided to left the Middle East, it's because of, I think it's something to do with the culture. The culture in the Middle East is a little bit strict. And also, another reason is for greener pasture. Of course, no one can deny the fact that European countries are offering higher salary for us nurses. And another thing is, ando na tayo sa sinasabing permanent residency, in-aim ko rin yun. And another thing po is, of course, we have knowing the fact that we have the family na nangangailangan din way back to the Philippines. So whether we like it or not, and we must like it, so we will grab the opportunity of working in Europe, particularly in the United Kingdom.
So when you went back to the Philippines, you decided, okay, I'd like to work to UK, relocate to UK. What did you do first? Who did you approach?
Okay, so before I went here, or before I decided to work in UK, of course, I took first my exams, my English exam, the International English Language Test, which we called it as an IELTS exam.
Mhm.
Then I asked my friends through Facebook who are also working here in United Kingdom how to apply as a nurse, and then because of the referrals also, and I met Ma'am Pearl.
So yeah, so Pearl, she's actually a friend of JUANEUKONEK, and she owns an agency. It's called
Yeah,
Skilled Healthcare International Limited. So you approached her and you asked her if there are any jobs going. So what happened then?
yeah. I decided to contact Ma'am Pearl through chat in Messenger, and then she told me that she said she needs my resume, my CV, and then after that, she finds some employer for me. She arranged a schedule for an interview. Fortunately, it took for only for me 2 weeks, I guess, for me to wait for the interview, and then luckily I passed the interview.
The interview with the
Employer,
employer who's
yeah.
based in the UK. So that was done online. Is that
Yeah,
right?
through Skype.
Of course. So when was that? When was the interview?
I guess I got my interview, or I guess last February 2020. Yeah.
Okay, and you were informed that they gave you the job when?
Yeah, a day, 24 hours after I got my job offer.
So within after it's just one day. So you
Yes.
were interviewed on the 20th, and on the 21st you were offered the job.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very fast
It's
actually.
it's very fast, yes. So then obviously you had to go through the requirements of
Of
the
course.
Nurses and Midwifery Council. So the first stage you've had to do was to take, what was that you had to do?
The first before the interview with the employer, I have already my English exam. I passed already
Mhm.
my English exam, and then I need also to take my CBT, or the computer-based test, which is the first qualification for you, or the first part of competence to be qualified as a nurse in United Kingdom. So I passed already the CBT. After that, we did our medicals, our IOM. It's like a TB test, chest X-ray, which done in Makati City.
Mhm.
Then after that, all the medicals. Then we send it to the through the agency here in United
Mhm.
Kingdom, and then they issued us the certificate of sponsorship for us to process our visa.
So that's the processing of a visa. That's part of it, right? So
Yes,
let me take you back. So in the Philippines, where are you from?
I am from Negros Occidental.
And you had to travel to Makati, did you?
Yeah,
So how was
exactly.
that for you? Because of the
Actually,
pandemic,
yeah,
that must have been tricky.
actually, I did my IOM the first week of March, so wala pang pandemic yon. And
Mm.
then after that, nagka-pandemic, I guess, March 15, the government um, put a lockdown. So unfortunately, some of our documents got expired, particularly my IOM, because 6 months
Because it's
lang po ang
only valid for 6 months, right?
yeah, ang validity po nyo noon is 6 months. So I need before before I can process my visa, I need to renew my IOM, and it was really difficult. It was really um, overwhelming on our part. The physical stress, the financial stress, of course, we need to spend again a lot of money, and then all the travel documents, you cannot go into airport directly, not like before the pandemic that anytime you can travel. But because of the pandemic, we need to process all the medicals from the city health office way back in Negros. And then we need also to go to the Philippine National Police for us to be issued like the travel permit, because the airport won't allow us to ride a plane without the travel permit from the PNP.
Mm.
It was really exhausting on our part. And then when we arrived in Manila, also they are searching also for some documents that we really don't have the COVID-19, that we tested negative for the COVID-19. And fortunately, we got our IOM renewed. So after that, we cannot come back to our province. Really, the struggle is real for us applicants from the province. The struggle is real for us because we need to wait to Manila for our medical, for our COS, for our visa. Hindi kami basta-basta makabalik ng province kasi pag magbalik kami ng province, another papers we will process from Manila before our province will accept us. Like in Negros, before you will come back to Negros, kailangan mo na namang mag-process ng medical certificate, ng police clearance from the PNP, the travel permit. Pagdating mo ng province, quarantine ka for 14 days. After quarantine for 14 days from their facility, 7 days home quarantine again. So for a total of 21 days. So I decided not to go back to the province and just to wait all my papers, my visa until the date of deployment in Manila.
That was in Manila.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's easy if you're from Manila and you it's okay. It's easier. You don't have to travel.
Yeah.
But if you're actually, as you said, if you're from the province, it's a little bit tricky. As you said, it could be stressful because of the need for the paperwork before you can travel and back again, right? So
Yeah.
it's not so straightforward.
Yeah.
Obviously, our topic today is how easy it is to make an application for a visa to the UK. But it's good to have a background, like what's actually happening, when you're making an application and you're from the province outside Manila.
Yeah.
Um, but as you said, you had to do all of this though before actually making the application to come to the UK, right? Because that's
Yes.
the prerequisite uh, documents that you have to submit before everything
Exactly.
else. Yeah. So as you said, the lockdown happened in the Philippines on the 15th of March. So that
Yeah.
kind of delayed things. So now, you then Pearl from Skilled Healthcare International Limited did everything for you, did all the paperwork for
Yes.
you for the visa, processing of the visa. So take us through that.
I think we applicants under the Skilled Health International, we are very lucky to have to have Mom Pearl because she's very hands-on in terms of the processing of all our documents, and we also opened up our issues from the especially nurses from the province that we told her, Mom Pearl, it's very difficult for us to come back again to the province. And then fortunately, Mom Pearl arranged for us everything. She arranged our COS very fast. Right after receiving our COS the next day, or I guess after 2 days, we processed our visa. And then, thank you Lord, walang delayed sa visa. Lahat sa amin na dumating yung visa on time. And then after the visa, I guess after 1 day or 2 days, we received also our ticket, our deployment, or our ticket going to the UK. So we are very lucky to have or to be under the Skilled Health International and under Mom Pearl because she's very hands-on in terms of the processing of of all our documents.
Well, actually, that's very good to hear, Jesse, because I've come across a lot of stories from our kababayans where they have been scammed by, agencies where they had to take their cut to pay for this and that. But did you have to pay for your visa fee, your plane ticket? What happened there?
We paid only for our exams, and then our visa fee, our plane ticket, everything is paid by the employer through Skilled Health International also. And then when we arrived here, we received our refund, everything. We got refunded by our medical fees, with our IOM, with our IELTS or English test, with our CBT also. We got refunded. Everything is refunded.
That's excellent to know because, as I said, in the past, people have been saying, a lot of their fees were deducted from their salary, right?
Yeah.
But in your case, everything went smoothly. So,
Yeah.
so when did you actually receive your visa?
I received my visa 30th of September.
Okay. Was that a 30-day visa, was it?
It's like 15 working days. 15 working days. But I received my visa 11 working days only.
Okay, but there a vignette on your passport, the actual when you got it,
Yeah.
correct? And
Yes.
then and then when you arrived on
I arrived on 15th October.
15th of October,
Yeah.
and Pearl was there to collect you at the airport.
Yes. She was there waiting for us in arrival in Heathrow Airport. She was very happy, and also we were very happy also seeing her for the first time because we communicate only virtually through Skype and through Messenger. She was really there, physically present.
It's a matter of trust, really, isn't it?
Sorry?
So it's a matter of trust. You trusted her to make
Yes,
sure
of
that she
course.
dealt with all the paperwork and that she was there to say hello to you at the airport. So it was made more real that,
Yes.
the worry of having to go through this, not actually seeing the person that
Yeah.
who you're dealing with. And finally, she was there to welcome you. So
Yeah.
everything
Not
is
just
set. So you
welcome us, but she gave us also
exactly.
food. She treated us for a coffee, and then
Oh,
um binigyan niya rin po kami ng, I mean, she arranged also for a coach for us to travel
yes.
outside of London because we are outside of London. So she arranged everything for us.
That's really amazing. So you have now started your work for
Yes,
the NHS,
yes.
and how are you finding it?
Of course, lahat naman tayo dadaan sa adjustment period, yung transition period na tinatawag. But I guess Filipino nurses, we are very resilient and we are very optimistic na we will adapt. We can adapt to any environment. So as of now, nag-start na kami ng aming shift, clinical shift sa hospital, and we really like it. Everything, the staff nurses are so kind, including the patients also.
And how many Filipinos working where you at? You're the hospital you're working for.
I guess we have a lot of Filipino nurses there. However, we cannot see each other because the hospital is too big.
Okay.
So yeah, so we are not meeting each other every day. Nami-meet ko lang yung mga kasama ko sa emergency department. Yun, nami-meet ko sila during endorsement or during handover. And after that, wala na. Kasi ano siya napakalaking hospital, so we seldom see each other.
Well, welcome to UK,
Thank
Jesse.
you.
And it's really interesting to note, what you had to go through during the pandemic. But as you said, if you've got this agency that will be able to help you to make the application easier, quicker, it's less stressful. So that's
Yeah.
actually really good. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Miss Crystal. Thank you, Miss Rose, for having me. It was really an honor for me to be interviewed by all of you, by the two of you rather. Thank you very much for the time. It is my honor, and anytime if you want me, I will be here.
Thank
Good
you
luck,
very much, Jesse.
good luck,
I'm just going to
Jessie.
quickly highlight.
Good luck, Jessie. And
Yeah.
then I hope that mag-iingat ka because the pandemic is around at
Yeah.
nasa second lockdown tayo. Best of luck sa iyo and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, Miss Rose. Thank you. Actually, before Miss Rose, I am just seeing you sa TV lang. Ngayon nakausap na kita ng personal.
And
Sikat
hopefully
ka
we
na, Jessie, ha? Sikat ka na rin.
Thank
Kasi,
you.
di bale, pagkatapos ng pandemic, hopefully magkikita-kita tayo, including Pearl. Kasi in your interview, you have been mentioning Pearl many times. And I understand, malaking bagay na isang mapagkakatiwalaang agency ang
Yes.
nag-process ng inyong mga papeles, mga dokumento because alam naman natin na it's a big problem kapag merong anomalya sa recruitment.
Yes,
Diba?
exactly. Opo.
Okay, yes, that's great. Thank you very much. Maraming
Thank
salamat
you.
and good luck sa iyo.
Thank you po. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. I'm just going to go into the details now. Of course, when you come to the UK to work for the NHS or an organization providing medical services to the NHS, you have to be a doctor, a nurse, a health professional, and adult social care professional. They have this standard occupational classification code, which you can check if you can come under those occupations. Now, your employer must be licensed to sponsor you if you're coming from, at the moment, outside of EU. Now, the visa fees, very important. The usual visa fee is £928 if the visa is for over 3 years. It's now cut to 464 pounds. Okay, so if the visa is more than 3 years, it's now 464 pounds, and that applies to also to your dependents if they're applying with you. If your visa is up to 3 years, the cost is 232 pounds. So that's even lower. Now, this is important. You will not have to pay immigration health surcharge. That means contribution to the NHS. At the moment, the IHS has been increased to £624 per year. So it's very expensive. Just imagine for up to 3-year visa, you will have to pay the IHS in advance, and that would be £1,872. Just imagine, not just for you, if you have dependents, that would double, triple, or how many dependents you have. It's amazing that the government has said you don't have to pay for this if you're applying under this visa. So it's exempt permanently. So that's great news. You do have to pay for the £19.20 biometric enrollment, but the employer could pay that on your behalf as well. If you want to, for the decision making at the British Embassy, it would take as little as 3 weeks, but it can be even shorter if you pay their priority service. And that's it. I think if you're actually thinking of coming to the UK, find out first if you qualify, get a trusted agency, and then, when you come to the UK, just do the best you can for the NHS. That's the in a nutshell.
Yes, Crystal, I think we just have to give them a little bit of an overview or background. In the past, before the pandemic happened, because I've been covering nurses for many years, ang foreign nurses, lalong-lalo na yung galing sa Pilipinas, because Philippines is not part of EU, kailangan pumasok muna itong nurse as a profession sa shortage occupation list bago sila makarating dito sa UK. Because ang priority sa employment of nurses, doctors, carers, dapat manggagaling sa EU, no? Dahil hindi nga tayo bahagi ng EU, kailangan pumasok tayo dyan sa kategorya na yan. Now, nagkaroon ng pandemya. So, nagluwag yung government sa mga patakaran. And then, katulad nga ng nabanggit ko kanina, kailangan ng 6,500 nurses ng NHS. That was reported in September. So, ibig sabihin, marami pang nurse ang kailangan na manggagaling sa ibang bansa. At alam naman natin ngayon na nakilala na ang mga nurse dito sa UK, ang Filipino nurse na magagaling, masisipag sa trabaho. So oportunidad po ito para sa mga kababayan natin na makapagtrabaho dito sa UK. And then you mentioned the fees. Bumaba yung mga fees kasi if you are a nurse, syempre katulad nga ng nabanggit ni Jessie kanina, for greener pasture. Gusto mong maging madala yung pamilya mo dito. But kung may 3 kang anak, para kuhanan sila ng visa, no? Para makasunod sa iyo, it's a lot of money. Lalo na kung nagbabayad ka pa nung mga recruitment fees, lahat ng yan na nagkapatong-patong na. So, ngayon, yung isang nakilala ko na nurse, na galing din siya sa Middle East, ang sinabi niya sa akin, it's much easier for her dahil nga bumaba itong mga fees na ito. So, ito yung gusto nating i-share sa kanila. Plus, the one that you mentioned, yung search, what was that? Yung sa...
Immigration health surcharge.
Yes.
Yes. It's so much. It's they've increased it. As I said, last month, it used to be 200 and 400. Now it's 624 pounds per year. So you times it by 3.
What does it mean? Para dun sa mga magtatrabaho dito sa UK, bakit kailangan magbayad ng foreign nurses nitong bayarin na yan? What is it for?
It's basically if you get ill and you have to go to the hospital to get treated, that would mean you don't have to pay for that treatment because it's covered by the IHS, you see. So that's what it's for. That's what the government said anyway. Otherwise, if you don't pay that, you'll have to pay it privately for the cost of the treatment.
Okay. Shall we mention some of the comments here, yung mga kababayan po natin na nakatutok sa atin simula pa sa segment 1, sa ating wellness segment, and nurses segment naman. Sinabi ni Miss Ruby Rose Ojeda na isa rin daw sa mapagkakatiwalaang recruitment is Oman Phil. So I'm just reading that, ha, hindi ko po siya nire-recommenda. It's a comment from one of our viewers. So ayan po.
Can I mention, Rose, as well?
Yes.
If you want to be sure about the position, I actually suggest that you go to the Job Center Plus. It's actually a government website, and also job.nhs.uk. So a lot of vacancies there posted as well on the website.
But if they're from the Philippines, for example, or yung mga kababayan natin in the Middle East, can they go directly there? Hindi ba nila kailangan ng agency to be like a mediator?
I think you do. You do need it's not as simple as just applying yourself. You do need more information. So it's especially with the language as well. I would suggest best to contact our trusted agents.
Yes, trusted agency, man agency for the seaman. Ito naman for our nurses. And so, like Jessie has mentioned, malaking tulong talaga sa kanya itong skilled professional. Tama ba? I'm sorry, Pearl. Huwag kang magagalit sa akin. Kaibigan natin na si Pearl. Okay. So, sino pa ba yung mga babatiin po natin bago po tayo magpaalam? At kung meron po kayong mga tanong, we have a few minutes before we go. Batiin ko muna Bong Agustines, our stringer, TFC stringer sa Paris. Nanonood po siya. Ang mami ko, nakita ko kanina, Jerly Ramos, Mary Rose Ojeda, thank you for watching. My brother is watching. Yung buong pamilya ko yata nanonood ngayon eh.
That's good. Raquel Scrivens, she's there of FWA. So proud of our Filipino healthcare workers.
Yes. Okay, nag-scroll po ako para sa mga messages ninyo. Para hindi nyo naman masayang yung pagta-type ninyo. My friend Nelly Fami, thank you Tita Nelly for watching.
Hi Nelly, hi.
Nanonood po si Tita Nelly. Thank you. Yung mga kaibigan ni Jessie, of course. Ang kaibigan natin na sino pa? I have seen a lot of messages kanina. Dan Revelo, nanonood din. Gigi, nanonood din siya. Kaibigan natin si Gigi. And who else? Si Pearl nanonood kanina. Pearl, message us for the for the website, for your website. Please don't be upset. And what else? May tanong po ba kayo? Do you have questions? Carmen Hickey, pray for our kababayans. Yes, Tita Carmen, we will pray and we continue to pray for them, lalo na po yung mga nasalanta ng bagyo sa Pilipinas. Julius Cesar, I'm a big fan ng programa. Salamat, Julius. At fan ka rin siguro ni Crystal Dias. And who else? Sino pa ba yung mga hindi natin nabate? Kasi baka magtampo sila.
I know, it just goes so fast. I can't keep up with you.
Oh,
Jenny T. De Guzman, hello.
Jenny T. De Guzman, kababayan ko rin yata ito. And this also, mga kababayan ko sila. Lahat ng kababayan ko at kamag-anak ko nanonood ngayon. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po. Siguro gusto nila si Girly. Si Jerly ang nagbantay at nag-alaga sa anak ko when we were in the Philippines. Thank you, Jerly. Thank you for watching, Jerly. Adeline Kawitan, salamat po sa panonood. Kung may tanong po kayo regarding Immigration 101, inbox us kay Crystal Dias at sana po ngayong hapon ay marami kayong natutunan. Wellness during the lockdown mula sa ating actor, ang kaibigan natin na si Raymond Bagatsing, and of course, ang kwento ng ating kababayan na medyo mahaba yung nilakbay niya just to come to the UK. What an ordeal, no? Because of the lockdown, Crystal?
Yes. Correct. It would have been easier, if it was a normal, year, but it's not. This is the new normal.
Correct.
So at least he's made it here now and he's happy where he is. So yes, congratulations, Jesse. Welcome to UK again.
Yes. And thank you, Jay, for being here with us, answering our messages here. Our associate producer, lahat po ng bumubuo ng JUANEUKONEK. Maraming salamat sa inyo. So I guess that's it for this afternoon. Medyo mahaba-haba yung break natin before our next live because we're preparing for our docu-series. Bantayan po nyo, abangan po ninyo. Even during the lockdown, we're filming. So wag po ninyong palalampasin end of the month ang docu-series 3. Para po sa kwento ng ating mga kababayang frontliners dito sa UK at sa Europa. Maraming salamat sa lahat po ng mga sumusuporta sa ating programa. Mag-inbox po kayo sa amin for the topic that you like. Okay, kasama namin kayo sa pagkonekta sa mga Pinoy sa Europa ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Ang kwento ni Juan sa Europa ay kwento ng bawat Pilipino sa iba-ibang sulok ng mundo.
Sana po ay nag-iwan kami ng aral, impormasyon, ngiti at pag-asa.
Thank you to the National Lottery Community Fund for being our funder for this project, Kontra Corona. We will be serving you in the next 3 months. Ako po si Rose Eclarinal.
And I'm Crystal Dias.
Hanggang sa muli.
So JUANEUKONEK.
Saan ka man dalhin ang kapalaran, iisang bayan lang sa puso mo'y laman, pinagmulan at babalikan, konting tiis na lang at hanggang